Welcome to LC Coin World. Holding a single penny in your hand, just 1 cent, you might drop it in a tip jar, toss it in your car console, or even walk past it on the sidewalk without a second glance. But what if that same penny was worth over $900,000? Today, what if you've had one sitting in your kitchen drawer this whole time? Changes everything. This isn't fantasy. This is the incredible story of the 1980 Lincoln 1-cent coin. Unassuming treasure that has stunned electors, investors, and historians alike. Now before you, laugh and say, come on, a penny worth $1 million, that's crazy, let me stop you. Right there. Because people said the same thing about a few other coins before they sold for 6 and even 7 figures at auction. Today you're about to discover how one small mint mark, one rare error, and one stroke of luck can turn a single cent into a fortune. Let's go back in time. It's 1980. America is in Flu-X. The Beatles are breaking up. Gas costs 36 cents a gallon. And in Denver, at the U.S. Mint, millions of Lincoln cents are rolling off the presses. Most of them will go on to live ordinary lives spent on coffee, gum, or simply lost under couch cushions. But hidden among those millions was something different. A few coins unnoticed by mint workers carried. Mysterious imperfection, doubling of the date. A faint yet undeniable misprint that would one day send shock waves through the numismatic world. At first, nobody noticed. These 1980 pennies slipped quietly into circulation. They jingled in pockets, changed hands in grocery stores, and were tossed into jars. But then, years later, sharp-eyed, collectors began spotting something unusual. On some of these coins, the year 1980 seemed the numbers were thicker, shadowed like they were printed twice. This was no illusion. It was what experts call a double-die obverse. Now here's where it gets exciting. The 1980 double-die penny isn't just a curiosity. It's a rarity so profound that serious collectors will pay staggering amounts for it. In recent years, verified examples in pristine condition have fetched values soaring into the hundreds of thousands. And the current record, a jaw-dropping $976,000. That's right, nearly $1 million for a single cent. Let that sink in. A coin you could have used to buy a piece of candy might now buy you a house, or two, maybe even your dream lifestyle. But what makes this coin so valuable? Why this penny of all things? It comes down to 3 things: rarity, condition, and demand. First, rarity. Out of all the coins minted that year, over 2.8 billion in total, only a tiny handful show this doubling effect. Some experts believe fewer than 50. Examples exist in collectible condition. Second, condition, the coin grading. Scale runs from poor to perfect mint state. A scale runs from poor to perfect mint state. A 1980 penny and uncirculated. Condition, preserved from the day it was minted, could multiply in value exponentially. And third, demand. Coin collectors are passionate, competitive, and well-funded. When a coin this rare hits the market, it's not just a purchase. It's a battle. Think of it like this. There are Ferraris, there are Lamborghinis, and then there's that one prototype that only 2 people in the world own. That's the 1980 double-die penny. But here's completely unaware of its true value. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing stories in American coin history. The 1970 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. A humble copper coin that could change your financial future. Stay with me until the end, because by the time this video is over, you might just be racing to check your old coin jar. Let's begin. In 1970, America was alive with change. The summer of love, the rise of new music, civil rights, March Sand, age of revolution and possibility. Amidst all that history, the U.S. Mint quietly released billions of Lincoln cents. Copper coins so ordinary they slipped cents. Copper coins so ordinary they slipped through the fingers of millions of Americans without notice. But here's the secret. Not all 1970 pennies were created equal. This particular year was unusual. The mint was under pressure. In the mid-1960s, coin collecting had exploded in popularity, and the U.S. Mint found itself battling a nationwide coin shortage. People were hoarding coins for their potential value, To stabilize the economy, the mint decided to remove mint marks altogether, those tiny letters that tell you where a coin was made. For 3 years, 1965, 1966. In 1967, no coins or mint marks at all. Dot. Now, you might be thinking, so if every 1970 penny has no mint mark, what makes one worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Great question. This is where things get interesting. The answer lies in a combination of rarity, condition, and something even more mysterious. Human error. See, not every coin leaves the mint perfectly struck. Some have subtle mistakes, doubling on the lettering, unusual coloration, or a rare composition change. In 1970, several Lincoln cents were minted with microscopic die variations that make them one of kind. Collectors call these error coins, and to them, an error isn't a fluke, it's a gold mine. Fast forward decades later, somewhere in America, a coin enthusiast is rummaging through old rolls of pennies. It's routine, almost meditative, until one coin catches the light in an unusual way. The details seem sharper, the surface flawless. No scratches, no blemishes. The year 1970, no mint mark. He sends it for professional grading. And what shocks him. The coin receives a perfect mint state 67 red designation, an almost impossible score. To collectors, that's like finding a diamond buried in sand. Suddenly, this 1-cent coin isn't worth a penny anymore. It's worth hundreds of thousands. Now pause for a moment. Imagine the emotion of that. Discovery. You're sitting at your kitchen table, magnifying glass in hand, and you realize the small copper coin you've ignored for decades might fund your dream home, pay off your debt, or even finance your retirement. That's not fantasy. It's happened more than once. In recent years, one of these pristine 1970 Lincoln pennies sold for over $911,000. Think about that for a second. $911,000 for a coin you could have found. Next up, coin 1977 Lincoln penny, gateway to the rarest treasures of our world. Today we're unveiling the top 6 most valuable USA Lincoln pennies, tiny copper coins that have become legendary since collectors discovered they could be worth millions. From wartime minting mistakes to design, mishaps and ultra-low mintages, these pennies transformed history into fortune. Think a simple penny can't make you rich? Think again. Stay tuned as we count down each astonishing specimen from that one-of-a-kind 1977 bronze Lincoln penny to the iconic 1909 SVDB and unlock what makes each one a numismatic legend. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a journey into hidden worth, all here on LC Coins World. Today we're diving deep into a coin that you may have brushed past in your pocket change. A coin that on the surface looks like just another penny, but in reality holds an incredible secret. This is the story of the United States of America's 1977 Denver Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent coin. At first glance, the 1977 penny seems ordinary. Copper in color, bearing the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial proudly displayed on the reverse. It feels like a coin you've seen countless times before. But in the world of coin collecting, also known as numismatics, appearances can be deceiving. What separates an everyday penny from a collector's dream is not only its age, but also its condition, rarity, errors, and the story behind its minting. Let's take a journey back to the year 1977. America was entering a new decade filled with cultural change, political shifts, and economic uncertainty. The inflation of the 1970s had left its mark, and the U.S. Mint continued to produce coins in the millions to satisfy the demands of commerce. The Denver Mint, marked by the small d beneath the date on the Lincoln penny, was one of the primary facilities, producing cents for circulation. That year, the Mint struck hundreds of millions of pennies, making the 1977 Lincoln cent a common coin for everyday transactions. But here's the twist. Within those hundreds of millions, a select few carry extraordinary value. The Lincoln cent has long been one of the most collected coins in America, ever since its debut in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Collectors have been fascinated by its enduring design and history, the obverse designed by Victor David. Brenner features a right-facing portrait of Lincoln, and it remains one of the longest running coin designs in United States history. By 1977 D, the reverse still carried the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. For over 50 years, this design would remain unchanged until 2009, when it was replaced by a series of commemorative reverses. But what makes the 1977 D Lincoln cent worth more than just a single cent? The answer lies in a combination of factors: rarity, condition, and minting errors. What can make your 1964 Lincoln penny extremely rare and valuable? That's what we're looking at today. So definitely watch this whole video if you guys want to learn which coins are rare and valuable and why. And you can also look for these errors on other dated pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars, dollars, and so on as well that can make those coins valuable. So let's start off here with a pretty obvious and pretty visual mint arrow. So this coin here has a partial blockage, which we can see there on the obverse of the coin. This penny ended up selling for $169 at auction. Next up, 1964 Denver minted Lincoln cent D mint mark. This coin has double curved clips. So you see that large clip, and then you see that little clip there at the top of the coin, and it does have a partial collar around the rim of the coin where it's kind of thicker there. This coin sold for $84 at auction. Those are very obvious mint errors. Now keep in mind, these are very common coins to have, but if you have a 1964 with a D mint mark below the date, and it grades at a misstate 67 red, it could be worth some money. This one here, in particular, sold for $180. So, a 70 is the best grade you can get on the coin grading scale. This coin at a 67 red sold for $180 bucks. Now, if we compare that to this coin, same exact coin, it's just one grade lower at a mint state 66 red. So, a little worse condition, but one grade can make a tremendous difference in value. We go from a $180 coin at a M state 6 red to a $10 to $15 coin here. The coin sold for $13 at a mint state 66 red. So, huge difference. Very risky to grade common coins like that unless you are very confident you're going to get a top grade. Now, here is a double strike taking place on a 1964 Lincoln penny. It also has been broad stroke. You can kind of see around the rim of the coin how it looks stretched out. That is the broad strike. And then, of course, you could see the double strike very visible there. This coin sold for a little over $70 at auction. And let's move on here to something that you can also look for on other coins as well. This coin sold for $55 at auction because it has that die break there. You see that extra blob of metal at the top of the coin going through Lincoln's head. Now, that's also referred to as a cud. So you can look for cuds, die bras on all kinds of different coins. Typically the larger the blob of metal there, the cud, the more you can get out of those coins. Free silver coin giveaways every Tuesday and Friday night at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Time, only on the Whatnot app. No catch. Guys, free silver giveaways, plus you get the $15 credit to spend on the Whatnot app. You can purchase any product from any seller and use your $15 credit today. Download the Whatnot app at the link in the comments below or scan the QR code on the screen. All right, next up, something very obvious. I have found these from the bank